We'll wait for like 2-3 minutes more, then we'll start the session. We are just waiting for a few more people to join in, and yeah, we'll just start the session in 2-3 minutes. Okay, so I think most of the people have joined. So yeah, so let's start the session. So good evening and namaste to everyone who are joining our session on challenges of parenting today. So parenting today can be challenging due to a variety of factors. Some of the most significant challenges include managing children's screen time and exposure to inappropriate content online, balancing work and family life, navigating social media and peer pressure, supporting children's mental health and well-being, and addressing bullying and violence. So, despite these challenges, parents can overcome them by staying informed, communicating openly with their children, and seeking support when necessary. So, I hope all the participants will gain some important insight via this session. And so, let me introduce you to our guest speaker. So, Lieutenant Colonel Manoj Kumar Sinha. He is a remarkable individual who has achieved great success in many fields. He was born in Bihar. He joined the Indian Air Force as an airman after completing his 12th grade. He continued his studies and eventually became an officer in the army after clearing CDS, which is Civil Defense Service. During his time in the army, he participated in intense counter-terrorism battles in Kashmir and was awarded the Sena Medal Gallantry for killing 6 terrorists despite being shot through his face, jaw, and neck. After retiring from the army, Lieutenant Colonel Sinha began expressing himself through his pen and voice. He creates stories of courage and sacrifice through poems, documentaries, and live talks. He has also conceived, written, and narrated a light and sound show as well. He gives live commentaries at various solemn occasions and also appears on Doordarshan as well, including Army Day parades and the inauguration of the National War Memorial. Currently, he's based in Bombay and works for a hospital. He's also a motivational speaker and a leadership coach, inspiring individuals and educating students at various events and education institutions. Lieutenant Colonel Manoj Kumar Sinha is a true hero and an inspiration to many. Very warm welcome to you, sir. There are some ground rules before proceeding ahead with the session. So, first of all, obviously, I will request all the participants to please turn off their mic so that it doesn't interrupt while the speaker is speaking. And all the questions will be taken in the end during our question and answer session round. You can put all your question in the chat box. I will personally curate them for the speaker to avoid any kind of confusion. And yeah, so without taking any further time, I will request Colonel Sinha sir to take the session forward. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, Devi Sajano, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar. As he introduced me, I was born in Bihar, and yes, today I am in my village, the place where I was born in the same village. And if the session was in the daytime, but when it was light outside, I would have taken you outside, done the session from the fields with the crops around, sitting or maybe sitting under a banyan tree or just outside the room when with the cows behind me. But okay. But coming to the topic today, challenges of parenting we're talking about, and the topic to me sounds similar to challenges of health. Humans like once upon a time, we ate the right food, right at the right time and the right way, did the right amount of physical activity, and we followed the right routine of getting up, sleeping on time, just like every bird and animal out there in this wild, wilderness does away, uh, which away from the human habitat. But then humans, obviously driven by desire for taste, comfort, convenience, show off, and yeah, show off, yeah. And because the parties and the feasts that we throw for various events, we end up ignoring and even forgetting the wisdom we were all blessed and born with about the challenges of health. And now, challenges of health is an entire new industry. We want to continue with our messed up lifestyle and we still want solutions for health. Similarly is parenting, ladies and gentlemen. But because before I move ahead, let me take you through the stages of various systems of parenting that has gone through over the decades. The stages which I take you now, I'm not telling that necessarily every family is undergoing it. You may be at the stage one, if you're very blessed and fortunate, and otherwise it may be down the line. Whichever we are, but you may obviously even the people who are very fortunate to be at the stage one, they must obviously we have come across families which are on the stages which are below that, right? So the first stage of parenting, especially when we're talking of dealing with teacherhood, teenage, it was earlier made on Adesh Adharit tha wo pura ka pura. It was instruction based, It was, the instruction based theory. It is not just parents, but anybody from the entire larger family, or even from the village, anybody who told anything, chacha, kaka, tau, chachi, bua, बड़ा भाई छोटा भाई बहन सॉरी बड़ा भाई बहन बड़े बहन कोई भी entire village कोई भी बड़ा कोई भी कुछ बोल देता था a task anything told was simply followed that was आदेश आधारित instruction based theory that was what it is and then came the विचार विमर्श आधारित चर्चा होने लगी discussion होने लगी so anything you tell to your kids they would initiate a discussion they would ask questions and as to why क्यों है कैसे है. But then they still believe that when they ask those questions, they still believe that the elders are right. They are always wiser. I have a question, so he will ask those questions. Probably a lot of us in our teenagers probably went through that. And even after the discussion happened, and even later on, if even if you couldn't convince people, he would agree to ठीक है जो बोला है वो सही है, right, and go along with it. So because he knew that the elders were right. And then after that because at that time the onus to prove your point was left on the child. आप अपनी बात अगर समाज कन्विंस कर पाए बड़ों को तो ठीक है अदरवाइज ठीक है. अब उसके बाद द नेक्स्ट स्टेज केम दैट वाज बहस पे आधारित थी. इट वाज डिबेट बेस्ड थ्योरी. जैसे ही आपने कुछ बोला टीनेज वुड से क्यों करें, व्हाई शुड आई डू इट. नाउ द onus to prove that your point is correct now was left on the parents or the elders. Now the power to give the verdict of the decision now lay with the child. So if you're not able to convince the child, he says, sorry, you've not been able to prevail upon me, so I don't agree with you. And so it goes. And then the last stage that comes down is Purna Roop se Asvikriti. Inkar par adharit hai. It was totally a denial-based theory. So the moment you say something, Pat comes a reply. No, I'm not doing it. He doesn't even bother to get into, he or she doesn't even bother to get into a discussion. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was the first stage when there was no discussion because whatever you told was simply followed blindly. And coming down to the last stage, again, no discussion. Whatever we said is simply not followed. So we've come down this, right? Now, in the first stage, that they would follow as a foregone conclusion. And in the last stage, that they would listen is again a foregone conclusion, right? In the first stage, it was a stage when the kids were teenagers, even the teenagers, kids छोटे की तो बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ मैं, even teenagers were actually scared of the elders and parents. And in the last stage, it is the parents who are now scared of the teenagers. That's what we've come down. Now, well, whatever I say, it may make you feel that the reason lies out there. We need to do something with the kids. वहीं पर है कुछ कर रहे. So क्या करें, कैसे करें? पहले एक जमाना था, सुनते थे, आज नहीं सुनते हैं. And we've come down this, slide करते करते आ गए. That is what you may feel so. But I'll request, Tanu to play that video and then I'll take it from there. The video that I've shared with you. Can you play that video right now?
Yes, sir. I'm playing the video.
Yeah, yeah.
I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. Time stands still. Beauty in all she is. I will be brave. I will not let anything take away what's standing in front of me. Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you saw that video now. How the small child, small baby was full of total, absolutely love, compassion, kindness towards the old man of a family, maybe her grandfather or irrespective. Probably the child may not be even knowing your grandfather hai ya padosi koi old aadmi hai, whatever it is, it doesn't matter to that child. Deviyo Sajjano, ladies and gentlemen, please understand. This is the child that we were all blessed with. And if the child today doesn't have the same kind of compassion, gratitude, love, and respect, then we are to blame that. Raw material hame ye mila tha. Suddenly, when a child is born, we suddenly start feeling, isko padhana hai, likhana hai, sikhana hai. It doesn't know anything. Hum isko duniya ke baare mein sab batana hai. Ladies and gentlemen, deviyo sajjano, mata pitao, जो भी आप सुन रहे हैं, बच्चा इन सारी खूबियों के साथ हर बच्चा पैदा होता है, होती है. I don't know whether we teach them or we make them unlearn these wonderful qualities that the children are blessed with. How does it happen? That is a case for introspection. Otherwise, the kid 1,000 years back was born with these qualities. The kid which is getting born today is also again born with these qualities. इसमें कोई फर्क नहीं है. बट एंड रिजल्ट क्यों अलग आ रहा है? आज से पहले अलग था, आज क्यों अलग है? उसके लिए बच्चों का दोष नहीं है, हमारा दोष है. जो परिवेश हम उन्हें दे रहे हैं, जो वातावरण हम उन्हें दे रहे हैं, all around us. And yes, we can blame the atmosphere, कि जैसे ही बच्चा आँख खोलता है दुनिया में, मतलब moment it starts, relating to the world and sees outside the world, and it is exposed to the television, it is exposed to the movies, and it's exposed to whatever happens all across. Exposed to the mobile as well, everything. And yeah, we are right if we think that all these things actually have a very, very adverse effect on the children, because most of them are not showing the right things, unfortunately. That is there. But ladies and gentlemen, deviyo sajjano, once again, इन सबसे ज्यादा influence जो हमारे बच्चे पर हो रहा है, वो हमारा होता है. We are the ones who are actually creating the biggest effect. So maybe maybe our parents when they were kids, maybe I'm not making a general statement that sabhi ke साथ ऐसा हो गया. I still see people today, even आज के date में, that people are like having the relationship in their families at stage 1. Even see today, आज भी देखता हूँ मैं. So I'm not telling general, but yeah, ऐसे है, most of it, yeah, it has gone down. So, but मैंने कहा ना कि, so maybe we, some of us, maybe when we were teenagers, we took it down from stage 1 to stage 2. So, if we are at a peak of ethics and morality and all those good qualities of respect and gratitude and love and compassion, once from that peak, you tumble down. थोड़ा सा भी आप slide करते हैं ना यहाँ से, so then the slide continues. Then it's very difficult to arrest that. So if we were the ones who came from stage 1 to stage 2, then we can't blame the next generation to coming from stage 2 to stage 3 and 4 and further down. We really can't blame them. And yes, so what do we do? We need to do is, they say, we can keep giving lectures, कि बेटा ऐसे करो, वैसे करो, वैसे करो, ये करो, वो करो, you must do this, you must do that, you must behave like this, behave like that. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, what we are communicates far more eloquently than what we say or do. So if the child is saying that we are the ones who are not filled with compassion and love towards our elders, unfortunately, I understand, we are the ones who have actually broken down the larger families and come into nuclear families. And not necessarily due to work, compulsions of work. Compulsions of work is still understandable. The child also knows, yeah, my father loves his brother, all the brothers that my fathers have, all the sisters that they have, are all one together. They're speaking to each other, filled with compassion and love towards each other. Every given a moment, and they rush to each other. Holidays, they are being spent each other, Subh Sham and all those things. So they understand that even though we are, because of compulsions of work, we are apart. But yes, the relationship still remains. And now in modern ways of, we can keep pursuing the technology for, tearing apart the relations, but technology is a boon for those who have good relations. So the child will see that Subh Sham, my parents are always, trying to talk to their brothers, their parents, and yeah, they all understand, if we are not taking care of our, if the child doesn't see a elder person into the house, and he sees that my grandparents are living alone, then I remember a story I just read somewhere, abhi thode din pehle, that there was a couple who was taking very, very good care of their child. And they're giving him everything, the best of the education, best of the toys, best of the facilities, subah, sham, and timing also. Like, I'm not telling, time bhi de rahe the usko, sab kuch de rahe the. And everything was being given to him, everything. And then one fine day, aise pucha maan hai, beta dekho, we are doing this for you. So I hope you remember these, when you grow up. He says, absolutely, I'm going to remember this. So I hope you take care of us also. He says, yeah, I absolutely emulate what you guys are doing. So you are doing so much for your kids. I'll also do the same for my kids. I'll emulate that, because the child doesn't see his or her parents taking care of their parents. So that's what he says. It's, if you've been taking care of your child, so I'll take care of my child. That's it. So if you want to show them those values, then you got to, baat karne se nahi hoga. We got to show it to them. So they need to see that love and respect and camaraderie all around. And apart from that, and all around to nuclear families, to theek hai. That is one part, that larger family se utna connection rakhna hai. But even when in a nuclear family, they need to see the father and the mother respecting each other. Right? They need to see both of them. It cannot happen if one of the spouses is not having respect toward the other. The best way for a child to be made to respect his or her parents is that he or she, the child sees her parents, his or her parents respecting each other. So if there is if there is an argument, if the relations are not good, and there's a lack of respect and trust between both of them, both these parents, then the child will make his or her own opinion that one of them is obviously wrong. So if the one spouse keeps blaming the other one that you are wrong, this, that, so he will take one of the sides. Or maybe he or she will think that both of them are wrong. They're fine, then you can't expect the child to carry the same value. Uske baad bolenge ki nahi, let us know. Someone comes now, you must treat him with respect. Why are you behaving like this? He sees his parents shouting at each other, and then one day he turns back and shouts at something to one of the parent, and the other parent, why are you shouting? He says, I saw you doing the same thing. If you say that your husband, if you shout at your husband, don't expect me to respect my father. If he sees being the husband shouting at your mother, then don't expect me to respect my mother. You've been telling that he or she is not, for all the folly that at times happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is one thing. And when I go to the schools and colleges, and whenever I address open stage in I also have a discussion post off stage. Us stage se utarne ke baad. And when I see especially college, when the kids are about 20, 21, 23, I tell them that when you are looking at the entire institution of marriage is not to find a husband and a wife. And I also say that when the people looking for spouses to each other, I don't know how people guide. I tell them, you don't look for a husband and a wife when you're looking for a man or a woman. Well, I don't know what you're looking at, but try and find whether the man or a woman is going to be a good father or a mother. The entire dynamics will change. जैसे ही एक लड़का जो मैट्रिमोनियल से अरेंज मैरिज की बात कर रहा हूँ उस दृष्टि से देख रहा है, or even for that matter, even if you are falling into a love marriage, look at the man and a woman, that is he going to be a good father and a good mother? Because the entire institution of marriage, ultimate aim is to become good parents. It is not for एक दूसरे के लिए नहीं होता है. It is for that. So that has to be made clear. That's why the entire institution of marriage and parenthood and coming families together, the entire institution of families coming together is to bring up good children. I'm here sitting in my village, and this challenge of parentship is such a big issue in the cities. Down here in the village, people are not that much educated, but this doesn't. There seems to be no confusion in anybody's mind as to what is about parenting. They all know what is right, what is wrong. And every child, every baby, has got not 1 but 10 laps. 10 गोद हैं उसके पास खेलने के लिए. It never falls short of it. तो अगर एक आदमी खेत में भी गया है तो there is always 5, 6, 7, 8 people to hold that child. अपने परिवार की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. I'm not talking about handmaid. So वो है, the child gets all the love and compassion that is required to. And but at the same time, हम cities में क्या करते हैं? When we need, वो तो करते हैं. उसके बाद एक और काम करते हैं कि at times, we suffer with some guilt कि यार हमने time नहीं दिया. So we try and overcompensate it by giving a lot of material thing to the kid, then giving a lot of comfort to the kid. It's all, तो वो भी गलत हो जाता है. तो वो भी गलत हो जाता है because हमने ये नहीं दिया तो let him give me the best toy and the best gadget and the best everything and pamper him. Whatever he wants to eat, we'll say, no, now आज मेरी छुट्टी है, बोल बेटा तेरे को क्या चाहिए? Whatever he or she may say will be done with. So वो भी यहाँ गांव में नहीं होता है. So at the right time the child is exposed to work also. He is not expected कि नहीं तो पढ़ो. तो अगर वो है, once he whatever work the child is required to do at the right age, he shows. जैसे ही होता थोड़ा दिन तो खेत में भी जाता साथ में. बेटी भी जाती है वो खेत में खाना, whatever it is, everybody is made to do that. Sense of responsibility comes in. And when you live in a joint family, there's no child which grows till the 20 and he's not had, उसने अपने नीचे 5-6 बच्चों को ना खिलाया हो. So that sense of responsibility of parenting तो यहाँ automatic training हो रही है ना. By the time the child gets married, यहाँ पर वो सारा होता है. And एक और बात है, हम लोगों में लगता है, a lot of thought is being given to, time देना है बच्चों को, time देना है. And it's right. More than that is the only thing is that we need to be simply right. The child needs to know that my father and mother are right. Of all the excellence in the entire world, there's nothing that can be separated from living right. I'll quote you an example of army. So in the army, we get posted away from our families, and for months and months, we don't come back. We are there outside. But the child knows. Child is very, very, he misses. He or she misses. But at the same time, he is very proud of his father, his or her father, because he knows that he is doing the right thing. And that's very important that, child, the realization that the child should have that my father or mother is exactly doing the best thing possible. Even if that best thing is not attending to me, but he or she is doing such an onerous task. He's there fighting for the country on the borders, and every child is very proud of it. And I've seen the army kids at times, and I'll give you an example. You can look into YouTube and others that I got a great friend who was martyred in Kargil war, Major Padmapani Acharya. You can go into my channel, you can look at my relationship with him and you will understand. And when he passed off, he got achieved martyrdom. His wife had a baby. She was still in the mother's way. The child was not even born. So the child was born after her father. When she was born, the father wasn't even around. But when you meet that girl, she's a very good girl, grown up now, in mid-20s now. And I can rarely come across a girl who's got that kind of a respect for her father. She's not even been, he wasn't even there. She's not even seen him. But she is proud of him, and she's imbibed all the values of him. Probably all due credit to the mother also and the family, because the entire family stayed together. Even after, when she came into the house, the entire family stayed together. So all the due credit to all those things. But the fact that, for a child to earn respect, child to get respect, he should have spent some time. No, he didn't even, he was not even there. But then she knows that her father did the best possible right thing that is possible, and she is very proud of it. So wo bhi jo time wali baat nahi hai. If the child knows that my parents are doing something which is very, very right, so it's okay. The child will understand. Problem is when he sees that they are running just after money, and maybe unfortunately some parents have got other issues also. They run behind pleasure, they run behind, and we get into some bad, addiction. There is someone who is drinking, someone who is partying, and that is the reason. If you're not able to give time to the children, then the child knows that, yeah, what my parents are doing is right now, the most right thing to do. And then they start losing respect. And once they start, if a child, you cannot give bigger gift. Every father or a mother who is listening to me, and you cannot give a bigger gift to your child than the feeling that I have got a father who respects my mother, and I've got a mother who respects my father, and I've got parents who respect their parents, and I've got parents who respect every elders that they have on top of them. And if that is the biggest gift you can give children, nowadays we keep listening that ek rickshaw wale ka beta, ek pan wale ka beta, ek iska beta IIT crack kar gaya, IAS crack kar gaya, and all those things. And we feel that coming from that disadvantaged background, how they have done that. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not telling that in that strata society wahan sabke rishte अच्छे होते हैं. I'm not telling that wahan bhi झगड़े होते हैं. But अगर वहाँ अच्छे हैं उस background में, so when the child sees the kind of sacrifices her parents are making, his or her parents are making, and उससे जो value system आता है उस बच्चे में, and let me tell you, the child is not at a disadvantage. It is at a greater advantage than most of the people whom we privileged kids, because that kind of an emotional satisfaction and pride that the child grows up with is very rare it's very difficult to achieve. And बस पहले एक होता था, yeah, despite coming from that background, even the parents, good families but poorer families, they had that barrier of opportunity of education. So now with the technology, the barriers have been broken. The education is right here, there. I'm sitting here in an absolute rural background. The internet is working. I'm speaking to you, and the YouTube and everything, whatever they have. So the technology and the knowledge is there in the fingertips, and you will see more and more people, children from this strata of society creating big names. So they have a bigger advantage, I'm telling you. So the disadvantage of knowledge, जो barrier जो था वो नहीं मिल पाता था, उसके पास पैसे नहीं होते थे, वो सब खत्म हो रहा है धीरे-धीरे. So now these kids are actually at an advantage because he's come through the grind, he has gone through the right value system, and he's seen those things. He has a lot of respect for the sacrifices that the parents are making, and that makes the child become truly focused. Because वो देखता है कि यार इतनी मेहनत मेरे पिताजी कर रहे हैं, इतनी मेहनत मेरी माँ कर रही है, तो उसको फोकस को तो हिला ही नहीं सकता. जो हम शहरों में बहुत सारे लोगों का कंप्लेंट होता है कि ना बच्चा ध्यान ही नहीं दे रहा यार, कभी इधर जा रहा है कभी उधर जा रहा है. वहां तो यहाँ तो गजब का फोकस हो जाता है बच्चे कि उसको तो कोई हिला ही नहीं सकता. So and leaving it up to the educational institutions, academic institutions की बात कर रहा हूं मैं, तो वो मेरे ख्याल से जितने भी हैं, there are wonderful people, wonderful teachers I also had. But that was an individual effort through which we learned some values from our teachers. But institutionalized जो है, very rarely I think, not taking away from any school until unless कोई बहुत ही बड़ा कोई गुरुकुल टाइप हो तो मैं नहीं कहता. But बाकी जगह पर सुबह की prayer के अलावा and a few quotes on the walls that honesty is the best policy and all those things. To scale up, I don't think everybody is busy covering up the syllabus and preparing the for exams, churning out marks, and that's about a few co-curricular activities here and there which can groom personality. I agree, but not character. So that is one of the reasons, when I went to Rishihood. I'm not telling wahan koi jadoo hai, but I saw a bit of an honest intent to focus toward these value systems, and that's what actually took me on. I like that part of it, and that's why I tried to. I got associated with the Rishihood because मुझे वहाँ पर एक नियत दिखी कि चरित्र निर्माण का भी प्रयास किया जाए, getting back to our old Indic values, and that is why the Rishi. What do you mean by Rishi? Rishi means आजकल हम देखते हैं जब हम कल्पना करते हैं, इफ यू थिंक क्लोज योर आइज एंड थिंक ऑफ अ लॉयर, एक लॉयर का चित्र आता है हमारे दिमाग में, काला कोट पहना हुआ, डॉक्टर का एक अलग आता है, वैज्ञानिक का एक अलग आता है, इंजीनियर का एक अलग आता है इमेज हमारे में. पुराने जमाने में वेदर यू आर अ चिकित्सक, वेदर यू आर अ साइंटिस्ट, वेदर यू आर एनीथिंग, यू फर्स्ट हैड टू बी अ ऋषि एंड देन यू कुड बी एनीथिंग. सो इवन सुश्रुत हैड वाज द इमेज ऑफ अ ऋषि, एंड जो साइंटिस्ट है जो तारों की पता कर रहा था, एस्ट्रोनॉमिकल साइंस में था, वो भी ऋषि था, जो गणित कर रहा था वो भी ऋषि था. So Rishi is basically something that before you get into any stream, you have to be first having a certain very high level of ethical, moral, and spiritual standards, and then you go ahead to become, whether you are a chikitsa, in the field of medicine, in the field of science, metallurgy, astronomy, and whatever you want to do. So that standards is what, that is why Rishi, the Rishi word stands for, if I just want to explain you in a layman word. And the next, I understand that everybody of us is worried about career. And ladies and gentlemen, the challenges that when most of us, of people of my age, that they were there about careers is not the same today. The opportunities are immense. And looking at the way our country is growing, it's growing at such a fast pace that probably never has any country been transforming at that pace in the history, the way our country is growing. So opportunity is going to be immense. One thing is that we need to change a mindset slightly, that not the job-oriented education that probably, I don't know. I'm not, don't want to get into the debate of what the West Britishers initiated the education system. They wanted us to be looking for jobs because they wanted, उनको नौकर चाहिए था, तो नौकरी के लिए हमारी मानसिकता बना दी उन्होंने. But that also needs to be changed, that we need to again start, creating people who can think independently, work independently, create enterprises. We need entrepreneurs more. The opportunity is going to be immense. ऐसे थोड़ा ना हो जाएगा developed economy, It doesn't happen like that, And the pace with which we are growing, $3.5 trillion economy. जिसमें से the first trillion I think took 67 years, and the last trillion took the third part of the trillion took only 5 years. So that is the pace with which we are growing. Imagine the opportunity that is going to grow. So let us not also focus कि सबने नौकरी ही करनी है. And that is another part I liked in Rishihood when I went there, and they said that you ask for a placement, we'll give you an entrepreneurship. So, and India traditionally, if you see, before the invasions happened, we were primarily a nation, a civilization of entrepreneurship. Whatever anybody did, एक राजा के पास 200-250 नौकर होंगे, उसके अलावा तो सब लोग अपना ही काम करते थे ना. Every farmer, every goldsmith, every ironsmith, every potter was an entrepreneur, right? So there was nobody working for anyone. So that spirit, we need to bring it back. We need to become good entrepreneurs. And over and above all, we've been through life now. We've seen probably हम में से कुछ लोगों ने शायद करा होगा गलती कि money, we must have chased money, power, position, and all those things. But we all know now at the stage of our life that ultimate happiness will lie with good harmonious relationships with within each other, with the family, and most importantly, the relationship with oneself. You got to be falling in love with oneself, and you can only do that when you live when you live a value-based life. Those things are very, very much required. So with that background, and still not late. Let's, if at all we have faltered, we have done those things, created. So let's still not late. Let's accept it, and just mend our relationship within ourselves, and with our elders, with our brothers and sisters, and let's start those things, and that will automatically percolate down to our kids. So वो बड़ा जरूरी है. And I understand we better off like पहले तो होता था भाई छुट्टी है तो we need to go to one of the ना दादा के घर या something like this. इसके अलावा तो कुछ छुट्टी का होता नहीं था. So today we want to see places. So even if we want to do that, we probably can, plan it together. We can call, we can speak to our brother or sister or someone, or uncle or someone, or dada didi, and we can plan that holiday together. ठीक है यार, let us plan it through. इस बार हमने वहाँ जाना है, तो आप बताओ a common date, something when we can go together. So जगह की जगह भी देख लेंगे, but we'll be together also. And but that will ask for a lot of, if we, there must have been some immature behavior on some people's part, mostly us, that relations went bad, but then it will call for a lot of maturity on our part to again, mend those things. But if you really were concerned about our kids living a happy life, then we owe it to them. Otherwise, let's not fool around by simply topics and discussions. I don't think any magic can happen. Whatever book we may teach, whatever seminars we may attend on parenting, and how many times people like me would speak, it will not because the real answer lies with you and only you, and the families and the way you conduct yourself, and that's about it. So let's not beat around the bush. That is the real answer. And I wish and hope what I've spoken is, it does help. It needs a bit of introspection, soul searching amongst ourselves. And I wish that we can all become, whatever time it is, become better parents. We can give better examples. And all those people, I'm not telling that everybody is going to do that. I see a lot of families at stage one. And I'm really proud of every such family that I see. And they need to be made shining examples. And if at all, again, I'm telling you, maybe another suggestion, if at all you see कि हमारे यहाँ है भी नहीं है, so then you know that in your entire larger family, there is one good family. There is some sister, some brother, some uncle, someone who got a very good harmonious relationship within their. So send your children there. जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना, पढ़ने के लिए foreign भेज दो, वहाँ पर अंग्रेजी पढ़ेगा, या मतलब some higher knowledge है. So that school is better. That this thing is better. So value के लिए भी देखो कि which is the family, which is a good value system. Connect with them. बोले यार छुट्टी हो तो मैं अपना बच्चा भेज दूँ आपके पास. He'll stay there. Maybe he'll learn something. Right? So if you can make that arrangement, that's even better. And privately confess your child, but that is what I want you to be, right? So that is one. So I leave it up to you, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope we can do some course correction in case we have faltered, and give our children the right values and the systems, right value systems, ethics and morality, so that they can become better versions of themselves. They can become better, husbands, better wives, better fathers, better mothers, better uncles, better aunts. And you can't have a happy nation without having happy families, right? So it'll all contribute to becoming India a very happy place. So thank you very much. Jain, if there are any questions, I'll be glad to take them. Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So there are a few questions that has been asked on the chat box.
Yeah.
So Ravi ji is asking, what according to you is actual entrepreneurship?
Actual entrepreneurship, if you're not seeking a job, and if you can, no, I'm not a domain expert of that field, but I feel anybody who's not in the line of seeking a job, so even a man who is actually running a dhaba on his own, I feel he's an entrepreneur. And if you can employ 4 or 5 people, then even better. So let's create not job seekers but job providers. So anybody who can at least create a job for firstly himself, and then a few more people, even better. So the bigger people that he can create jobs for, create livelihood, better is the entrepreneur, as per my understanding. That is what it is. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So there's another question. So someone is asking, I'm not able to get his name. It's anonymous attendee is written.
Right,
But
right. No problem.
he or she is asking how to build a character in our children. Character कैसे build कर सकते हैं अपने बच्चों में?
I showed you, that you need to be the character that you want your children to be. And that is one. But unfortunately, I told you that also. Unfortunately, suppose you have a better example in your family, in your larger family. So connect your children to them. Just like if we are not able to teach, then we send our children to someone who knows better. Like, let us put you to a coaching class. where the person who's coaching is better qualified than me, or you put tuition में लगा देते हैं. So similarly, let us accept it. If we can't be the best version, what we want, वो हम नहीं सिखा सकते. So let us send it across to them. Look around, आपके larger family में there must be some wonderful family, very good harmonious relationship in that family. Connect to them. उन लोगों से मिलिए, मेल जोल बढ़ाइए, रिश्ता बनाइए, संबंध बनाइए. आप लोगों से मिलिए, आप अच्छे चरित्र का प्रदर्शन करेंगे, बच्चों में भी अच्छा चरित्र आ जाएगा. There is no other way. There's no shortcut. There's no course, crash course for this. It's a hard grind that we'll have to go through and make our children go through. There's no other way. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So there's a question. So someone is asking how to treat a children without scolding and beating.
No, there is no way. That's another misnomer that we should not scold and beat. It doesn't work like that. This is at the right time, right? As long as the intent is to improve, when you do that with the intent of improving them, not due to the intent of anger, or at times we begin to hate something, some habit of the child. So अच्छी नीयत से जब करेंगे तो it's important, that's again a misnomer. नहीं होना चाहिए, वो गलत है. तो वो कुम्हार मिट्टी बनाता है तो पहले मिट्टी को तोड़ता ही है, पीट उसको निचोड़ता ही है, and that's only then you can be formed. We in the army, when we are sent for training, character की बात कर रहे हैं. So प्यार से थोड़ा ना कोई ट्रेनिंग होती है, वो खुद दबा के होता है. It's important. And yeah, it should be scolding नहीं बोलूं, मतलब it should not be like as the child knows. उस वक्त नहीं भी समझ में आएगा, बाद में उसको पता चल जाएगा 2 साल 4 साल बाद कि the reason why I was scolded was right. Don't worry about that कि what will he think, maybe he or she will start hating. वो हाँ ठीक है, if आपने अगर बाकी चीजें सही नहीं करी हुई है, रिश्ता खराब है, then obviously it may backfire. But if you have been the best of examples of character, harmony and love and compassion to your child, and then uske baad, if you are doing something, if you're shouting or if you're scolding, the child knows that my parents are the best people in this world who can never speak anything wrong. They're the best examples of anything. And if they are shouting, means I must be really doing something wrong. So then it will never be taken in a wrong spirit. It will actually work right. So it's important. That's a wrong notion that kabhi bhi will डांट. But यहाँ कब डांटना, कहीं डांटना, अच्छी नीयत से करेंगे उसका अच्छा पड़ेगा, गलत नीयत से करेंगे तो उल्टा पड़ जाएगा. So I leave it up to you that you will have to understand. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So Monica Rana ji is asking how to reduce the children's screen time. बच्चों का स्क्रीन टाइम मोबाइल में, फोन में कैसे कम कर सकते हैं?
स्क्रीन टाइम आप रिड्यूस नहीं कर सकते हैं. There are other things. अगर बच्चे को ज्यादा प्यारी लगेंगी तो अपने आप स्क्रीन टाइम होगा. What is the you see, दुनिया में 24 घंटे, ये दुनिया में कोई भी वैज्ञानिक आ जाए, टेक्नोलॉजी आ जाए, गैजेट आ जाए, फैसिलिटीज आ जाए, nobody can really increase. कोई साइंटिस्ट वैज्ञानिक ऐसा पैदा नहीं हुआ, ना आगे होगा कभी, 24 घंटे का 1 सेकंड भी बढ़ा दे. So the child today feels gets attracted towards screen, so it goes there. You need to create an atmosphere in the family and the house which actually is far more better attraction than the screen. तो वो छोड़ के आपके पास आ जाएगा, आपके साथ समय बिताएगा. But if you see there's no fun playing with my parents, they are always, वो खुद ही busy है, he himself is watching TV or he himself is busy doing some office talk always, or the relations are not in the best of the terms. They are busy fighting, arguing, or ये मुंह फुला के इधर बैठे हैं उधर बैठे हैं, then the screen is the best option. That's why the child goes towards the screen. You give him a better option than the screen, the child will obviously come. क्यों नहीं आएगा? But that is the best option available. So forget about the screen. The other options, good options that can be given, should be made very, very good. वो हो जाएगा तो अपने आप बच्चा आ जाएगा. Yeah.
So there is anonymous question as well. I think she's a mother. She's asking, is it possible for my daughter to join army? Even she isn't from an army background. She wants to join OTA.
Yeah, obviously. You go to the Indian Army website and the ladies are doing a wonderful job today. And they're doing everything, Army mein they're making the country proud. They're there in Siachen and everywhere. It's obviously possible. So just go to the Indian Army website. I may not be updated because today is a very, very dynamic world. पुराने जमाने में तो एक बार रूल बनता था तो 10-15 साल वही चलता था. Today every month I can see that things are changing. पहले कमीशन का ये रास्ता था, वो रास्ता था, ये क्वालिफिकेशन था, ये थी नहीं थी. So the army is also keeping pace with the modern education system that is happening today. It's a very dynamic world. So just go on to the Indian Army website, indianarmy.nic.org. I think that what that is there. And उसमें आप देखिए आर्मी के रिक्रूटमेंट के ऑफ कमीशन ऑफिसर लेडीज एंड सी व्हाट आर द फैसिलिटीज अवेलेबल एंड व्हाट एवर स्टेज योर चाइल्ड इज. अभी पता नहीं मुझे आपकी क्या एजुकेशन है और शी इज इन क्लास 12, तो अकॉर्डिंगली टेल हर इफ दैट इज हर एज aim to do. So Indian Army is the best place. Yeah, that is the best place. Indian Army, apart from giving a career, it also builds a bit of character. So अगर कहीं कमी रह गई है तो Indian Army या इंस्टीट्यूशन अगर दुनिया में कोई है जो कैरेक्टर बिल्ड करती है, I told you that no institutions are there and educational institutions तो hardly कोई करती हैं. I saw a bit of intent in Rishihood, but otherwise if there अगर कोई institution कैरेक्टर बिल्ड करती है तो वो Indian Army है. Army when I say Army means Army Navy Air Force. So that's a very good place to be. Yeah, you can obviously do that. You must try that. And I compliment you for thinking that way. Yes. Yeah, next. Sorry.
Yes, sir. So Kapil Sharma is asking, as you began with health point and sound and timely sleep is one of the major criteria. Nowadays, a student has to go to school till afternoon, then sometimes tuition as well as sports or extracurricular activities. Then homework, etc. takes time. It makes them to sleep after midnight. How to make a balance even if say go to sleep timely, but there is so much on the timetable to do. How to make a balance?
Yeah, we'll have to make priorities right. You know, we'll have to make our priorities. Also understand अब ये जो व्यवस्था है हमने और आपने probably हम में से it is beyond me and beyond you. So we are all a victim of this entire education system, false kind of an education system that has been made. I really can't say there's an answer to this because we are all ये व्यवस्था ऐसी बन गई है एक rat race type की है. So but then I see that वो priorities अगर focus सही है, character build सही हुआ है, focus सही है तो you know you also must have seen that when you are in the right frame of mind, right atmosphere, then जो घंटे भर में समझ में आती है वो 5 मिनट में समझ में आती है. तो वो माहौल दीजिए कि जल्दी बच्चे को सब कुछ समझ में आ जाए. And whatever you can listen and don't put too much of pressure. As I told you, आज के जमाने में वो जमाना खत्म हो गया कि पहले था कि if you haven't cracked engineering, medical or an NDA or a CDS and IAS, IPS तो खत्म हो गया. मतलब by 26, 27, 8 if you haven't been into any of these तो हो गया काम. अब you will be stamped as a failure, even though you might be a good child, a good student. Those times are over, the opportunities are immense. So don't worry. Tell them to take it cool, put in their best. जो आएगा आएगा, ठीक है, नहीं है. Character पे focus कीजिए and उस पे character focus करेगा तो number भी अच्छे आएंगे because obviously studying working hard is part of the character. And उसके बाद ठीक है, ये नहीं हुआ तो वो नहीं हुआ तो ये नहीं तो वो. And as I told you, entrepreneurship is the best one of the उसका तो कोई limit ही नहीं है ना, कोई vacancy नहीं है उसमें. तो आप अपने you are the king, you are the आप राजा हैं. तो जितने में उसका तो कोई वैकेंसी खत्म नहीं हो रही कि कितने इतने ही एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप हो सकते हैं या इसमें थे. तो ठीक है, पुट हिम इनटू दैट माइंडसेट. ये नहीं तो वो नहीं तो ये. एंड बेसिक रोजी रोटी का आप टेंशन नहीं है. वो जमाना चला गया कि मतलब दाल रोटी मकान, दाल रोटी कपड़े की ही टेंशन हो जाती थी. दैट आई थिंक विल बी टेकन केयर ऑफ. छोटा कोई भी दैट विद दिस इकोनॉमी वो भी ईमानदारी से आई थिंक हो सकता है. एंड उसके बाद ठीक है, बाकी हो जाएगा. बट डोंट पुट दैट काइंड ऑफ प्रेशर कि यही सब कुछ है. व्हाटएवर वन कैन डू. हाँ, आई अंडरस्टैंड इन एग्जामिनेशन दिस थिंग्स एंड वो रहेगा, थोड़ा बहुत नुकसान होगा, बट या एज अ हैबिट ठीक है. आई एम लॉन्ग टर्म की बात कर रहा हूँ. एजुकेशन के बाद भी तो खत्म भी हो जाता है, उसके बाद भी लोग सो रहे हैं ना. वो एजुकेशन तो आई अंडरस्टैंड, उसके बाद भी तो लोग रात को 12 बजे 1 बजे सो रहे हैं, सुबह 10 बजे उठ रहे हैं. दिस इज हैबिट. हम लेक्चर देने पड़ते हैं. लाइक आप जानवरों में और चिड़ियाओं में तो कोई नहीं उठता सो लेट. वो हजारों साल से वैसे ही चल रहे हैं, ऐसे ही चल रहे हैं. दे डोंट हैव डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन ऑन दैट. हम में से एक बोलता नहीं आई लाइक टू गेट अप एट 10, समवन सेज आई लाइक टू गेट अप एट 4. उनमें तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. सो ठीक. व्हाट इज राइट, लेट्स नॉट डिबेट अराउंड इट. ठीक है, व्यवस्था है तो उसी के साथ चलना पड़ेगा. आई अंडरस्टैंड योर कंपल्शंस. या
yes sir. So there's a final question. Soman Kumar, so he is asking in nucleus family over pampering. So we have seen in nucleus family we normally over pamper the child. So is that a cause for the child's behavior?
Yes, yeah, that is one of the behaviors, and that over pampering happens because of the guilt complex that we suffer somewhere deep down. हमने ये नहीं दिया, वो नहीं दिया, तो आज टाइम मिला है तो पूरा ही दे दो, मटेरियल ही दे दो और सब कुछ दे दो, प्रोटेक्ट कर लो, फलाना कर लो. एंड वी आर डूइंग एक्चुअली अ ग्रेट हार्म व्हेन वी ओवर पैम्पर द चाइल्ड. सो बहुत आवश्यक है. and unfortunately है तो है, as I told you ना, ठीक नहीं, न्यूक्लियर में हो, कनेक्ट तो करो ना उसको, उसके बाकी चाचा से, ताऊ से, मौसा से, मामा से कनेक्ट तो करो। अब तो टेक्नोलॉजी आ गई है, फोन मतलब टाइम की भी बात नहीं है, तो एटलीस्ट लेट हिम और हर गेट कनेक्टेड टू पीपल, यू नो। जॉइंट फैमिली में क्या होता था पहले कि जैसे मैं यहाँ देखता हूँ अभी यहाँ पर कि यू नो पेरेंटिंग इज समथिंग लाइक growing up, a child needs a lot of emotions like food, health का होता है ना, you need so many vitamins and minerals. It is not just vitamin B1 enough, good vitamin B दे दो और बच्चा is taken care of health, good vitamin C दे दो and it's enough. ऐसा तो नहीं है ना, we need all the vitamins. तो joint family में होता था ना, all the emotions were available to the child. There would be someone in the family जिसके उसको डर लगता था, यार अगर मैंने गलती की तो चाचा बहुत मरेगा. So that is also important. At the same time, he knew that there's someone in the family यार जिसके कंधे पे चढ़ के मैं कूद सकता हूँ, हर बात बता सकता हूँ, कोई क्रश है वो भी बता सकता हूँ, एंड एवरीथिंग, मतलब कूल है, समवन इन द फैमिली जो बस फ्रेंडली है. एंड ऐसी एज द चाइल्ड कीप्स ग्रोइंग, उसके नीचे 2-4 सिबलिंग हो ही जाते थे, तो उसके साथ भी खेल रहा है, कूद रहा है, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी सीख रहा है, ऑल काइंड ऑफ इमोशनशिप, यू नो. द छोटे वाला जो बड़े को इमोशन दे सकता है, वो भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट इमोशन है ना, दैट एल्डर ब्रदरली फीलिंग, एल्डर सिस्टरली फीलिंग जो उसको मिल रही है, वो भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो वो सारा मिलता था, अब नहीं मिल रहा है. You can be if in nuclear family you can be only one, ना, you can be the best vitamin B, vitamin C, that's it. But you can be जितना, but that doesn't complete good overall health. Similarly it doesn't work. अब है तो है, तो रेस्ट ऑफ इट कॉम्पेंसेट कीजिए ना उसको, जहां तहां से उसके मे बी सम क्वालिटी चारों तरफ से मिली है जुलिए. Oh, that is what it is important. Please don't over pamper. You are actually doing a child very very big harm अगर आप over pamper बनाते. You also need to make your child strong, because that's another topic which I speak at times, you know, in times to come. There are people which your child will have to learn to survive, you know, survive a battle also. There could be a battle on the street. So do you see your child, you know, be surviving that? There could be someone coming down physically to harm. I'm not scaring, but it could be reality, and it's happening in our country and all around the world. Street brawl ho gaya. So do you see your child surviving that brawl? You know, can he? तो वो उसके लिए आप ओवर कैपर करेंगे, मॉलिक्यूलर कॉटन वूल में रख के निकलेंगे, तो फिर तो क्या है, एसी से बाहर निकलते ही बच्चा पिघलने लगेगा, तो फिर तो सॉरी, फिर तो मुश्किल है फिर. देन तो ही would not survive those kind of tussles in life. So please make him or her very strong and resilient also. And that वही तो फिर ग्राइंड से निकलने के अलावा कोई रास्ता है नहीं. There is no shortcut to that. That is the only option. So please don't over pamper your child. Don't worry about getting that immediate acknowledgement and you know from the child कि आज मेरे पापा ने जो किया मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, thank you papa, thank you mommy. Don't worry about that. In the village nobody bothers. Nobody is even expecting the child to, you know, say thank you papa, thank you mother. They just do what is right. यार अगर लगाना है तो लगाते हैं. They don't worry about it, right? And they know when the child grows up, he knows that okay, the treatment that I got was very very good. हम आर्मी में है, सबसे ज्यादा हमारे ट्रेनिंग में रगड़ा होता है, सबसे ज्यादा हमारी लाइफ मुश्किल जो नर्क बना देता है ना, आज हम सबसे ज्यादा उसी का सम्मान करते हैं, बिकॉज हमें पता है कि उसने हमें ट्रेनिंग में अगर रगड़ा नहीं होता, डांटा नहीं होता, खून नहीं बहाया होता हमारे घुटने और पांव से, तो probably we wouldn't have survived the battle that when we went to. And battle में कभी लग जाता है, जैसे मेरे ही लगी थी, तो मुझे लगा था बाद में हॉस्पिटल में ना कि शायद मेरे को थोड़ा और ठोकना चाहिए था यार, बिकॉज आई मेड ए मिस्टेक ऑफ नॉट रेजिंग माय वेपन एट द राइट टाइम, एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई गॉट शॉट बिफोर. सो मैंने कहा यार और रगड़ना चाहिए, बट ठीक है, बट स्टिल despite that, despite having 3 terrorists around me, I could fight and survive. So that goes, the credit goes to the people who sorted me out nicely and properly in the academy. रगड़ के मेरा भूत बना दिया था. So I'm grateful to those guys. Yeah. So don't worry. It's very important that for the survival instinct of the child to take them at the height grind. Yeah. Saurabh.
Yeah, thank you, Colonel Sinha sir, for the insightful session. And I hope everyone will understand that parenting is an ongoing journey and requires continuous effort and care. So thank you so much, sir. So just sharing a small PPT with all of you. Yes, so small PPT. So yeah, so normally a lot of parents ask how to approach career choice for their child. So like career choice कैसे approach कर सकते हैं? Normally, so I have jotted down 5 steps that you can normally take on. So first step is identify the interest of your child. उनका interest क्या है? Whether they are interested into commerce, arts, sciences, उनको science पढ़ने में अच्छा लगता है क्या? Stats में अच्छा लगता है क्या? So obviously, a children's interest area should be identified by their parents. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is identify study options or research on scope. So obviously, once you have identified the interest area, उनके हिसाब से what are the study options? Whether there is a bachelor course, master's course, diploma course है क्या? Is there any boot camp where you can send your child and analyze कि उनमें interest आ रहा है क्या? Is there any online course available so that a child can experience कि उसमें सिखाया क्या जाता है? Is that curriculum relevant to what he or she is interested in? So obviously, second, as per the second step, which is identification of study options. Third is find out colleges that offer similar interests. So there are normally three kind of colleges which are there in India. First is obviously government, state university and government university. Second is your private level university, and third is your combination of it's a combination of government and private, which is known as semi-government institution. So obviously you need to find out which colleges are the best who provide these kind of study options in terms of your degrees and diplomas. And step 4 is discuss with your child on what are the affordability options. So what is the fee option of that particular course in that college? Tuition fee कितना है, infrastructure में कितना payment जाता है, and what is the accommodation and food and lodging cost, whether it's a residential course or a non-residential course. And also you need to check other factors as well. For example, in terms of how the infrastructure looks like in the campus, what is the student and faculty ratio? Faculty ka level kitna in terms of whether they have done the PhD from Ivy League institution, they have done the PhD from IITs and IIMs, and also in terms of how active they are in terms of students participating in national international competitions, inter college level competition, whether they have an active clubs, student clubs or not. So step 5 is go through the admission process. So each and every college has different kind of admission process. For example, Rishut University have like a 4 to 5 stage of admission process that we follow. So some colleges are mostly interested into going for an online examination. Some of the colleges are interested into give more focus into like GD and PI down. So each university has their own admission process. So obviously you need to find out the admission process of each and every college for the student he or she is interested in. So normally in Rishit University, as you know, Rishit University is India's first impact university. So the programs offered, so I have normally divided these programs into three verticals, which is social sciences and humanities, creativity, and healthcare. So under social sciences and humanities, we offer psychology honors, economic honors, BBA, BCom honors, and in PG we have MBA. In creativity, in UG course we have BDES, which is Bachelor in Design. So sub interest areas are like product design, fashion textile, communication design, interior architecture. And in PG level, we have MDes, Master in Design. So in that, we have some interest areas like industrial design, fashion textile and communication design, and interior architecture. In healthcare, we have BSc honors in public health and hospital administration. So normally in the era of COVID times and healthcare disruption, this is a very demanding course. And I think in India, it's a very high demanding course, and lot of opportunities are going to be created if this course is being done by the students. So normally in Rishit University, there are five schools of thought, and we believe that we can create impact leaders through these schools of thought. So the students who will be completing their course from these schools will be able to create impact in the society, and will be able to solve the problems of the society and a smaller and also in terms of larger tools as well. So we have School of Entrepreneurship, we have School of Creativity, we have School of Education, we have School of Public Leadership, and we have School of Healthcare. And yeah, so apart from this, Rishut University has initiated an exclusive network which we call Rishut Parent Community. It's a global community for all your parenting needs. So normally, normally it's for the major. So it's a one group for all your parenting needs in order to create. So normally the major goal was to create mindful parents, create rooted and free family, and also help in the holistic growth of a child. And if any parents have any queries regarding the child's career, any parenting problems that they are facing, they can obviously feel free to share on this community, which it's a Facebook group. You can join in. So Tanu will be sharing the link on the on the Zoom chat box. So you can join in as soon as possible, and feel free to post any questions that you have regarding your parenting problems, and we'll be more than happy to solve and resolve it for you. And normally a lot of parents ask, पूछते हैं कि सर ये इसमें खास क्या है? Normally तो Facebook में इतने सारे ग्रुप्स है पेरेंट्स के, आप में ऐसा क्या खास है कि मैं आपके ग्रुप में ज्वाइन करूं? So normally sir, there are three things that I will be like to put it on. So first is in terms of engagement. The kind of engagement that we're gonna give is far better as compared to any other Facebook parent community, and the answers will be given by will be solved by the experts जो field में है. Normally क्या होता है कि बाकी Facebook group में आपने देखा होगा कि parents problem like questions का answers तो put करते हैं, but the answers are also put by the parents, and it's not necessary कि वही answer आपके आपके बच्चे के लिए भी अप्लाई होगा या एम्पलीफाई होगा. So in terms of engagement, it will be far better. Obviously, second is the free of cost. So as you know, Facebook group will be free of cost. You don't have to pay anything. And third is you will be able to avail a Rishi Plus magazine. So it's a bi-monthly magazine. It's an extension to that. So it's a bi-monthly magazine that we normally do. So we have a physical copy that we distribute, and we also have a soft copy which we share it on mail. So in case if any of the parents or any of the student has any ideas or want to share something or contribute something in the bi-monthly magazine, you are most welcome. So normally Rishi Plus magazine is a documentation of ideas, people, culture, learning experience that want to reshape human life. And we will be more than happy to take your contributions online. You can share it on mail. So Tanu will be sharing the mail ID in which you can share all your contribution if you have, and you can avail this thing. It's a subscription model, and Tanu will be sharing the link on the chat box as well. So normally, yeah. So what is Indic Summer School? So Indic Summer School is a vibrant learning fest aiming to take school students aged normally in the between of 14 to 17 years beyond the four walls of their homes and classroom. It is a 7-day adventure that promises to like nourish the young mind through dynamic and thought-provoking activities and workshops. So normally a student who is between the age of 14 to 17 years of age will be able to acquire life skill, will be get the opportunity to understand university life, will understand Indian culture, will be able to build unique interest, get multidisciplinary interest areas, will be able to have a social adaptability and also build a lifelong friendship and connections as well. So if you have if your child is in the age bracket of between 14 to 17 years of age, please feel free to share Indic Summer School with them. And if you know someone who in your network, you can share the Indic Summer School with them as well. So Tanu will be sharing it on the chat box. Yeah, you can share it with your network. So in the what is Reshoot Catalyst program? So once you apply for the Reshoot application form, so you automatically avail the Reshoot Catalyst program. The best part is you will be able to get the access of a series of around 5 to 6 webinars and a personal counseling session as well. And you don't have to pay anything for this Reshoot Catalyst program, because obviously once you fill the application form, or if you start the Reshoot online application form, you automatically avail the Reshoot Catalyst program. You don't have to pay separately for that. And normally in this 5 to 6 webinars, expert will discuss about your interest, give guidance on various opportunities. What are the pain factors that the child experiences in terms of choosing the right college, choosing the right career option, choosing the right course for them. So these kind of questions will be answered for your child, and for the parents as well in the Reshoot Catalyst program. So yeah, so Reshoot University has a 3-stage admission process, which is a student or a prospective student has to fill the Reshoot online application form. Then they have to go through the RSAT, which is Reshoot Scholarship and Aptitude Test, and then they have to go through the personal interview round. So once these stages are done, which is online application, RSAT, and personal interview round, then the final offer letter is being dispatched by the Reshoot admissions office. So what are the selection criteria for the Reshoot University? A profile or like a prospective candidate for a Reshoot University. So there are normally 5 selection criteria that normally we do. We obviously look after the academic records of a particular student. we see what kind of extracurricular activities, achievements has he achieved in his school days, like whether he has started a debating club in the school, whether he or she has achieved national or international competition, whether he or she has won any in sports, if he or she has won entire competition like in taekwondo, karate, anything. And third thing is the statement of purpose. So obviously, the admission team looks into the what kind of answers that is being written in the statement of purpose. Fourth is the RSAT examination, as I told in the admission process above. And for fifth is a person interview round. So these are the 5 factors that we normally take into consideration in terms of selection criteria. So so yeah, if you are coming into Haryana, अगर आप सोनीपत आ रहे हैं, मूर्थल आ रहे हैं, I think मूर्थल के पराठे काफी famous है. So if anyone is coming to Murthal, if anyone is coming to Sonipat or Haryana, please do come by to Rishut University. We'll be more than happy to welcome you to our university, and also we'll give you a free university tour. And you can obviously text on this number, which is 7400173554, and also you can mail it to the admissions@issue.edu.in. Feel free to ask any question that you have. You can text on the WhatsApp number, or you can mail it on the mail ID. And yeah, thank you.
Saurabh,
Yeah.
can I make one point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was just
Absolutely.
thinking, yeah, that one question someone who asked about scolding and all, which I told is important. We should do it. Only one precaution you should take it. Both the parents should not come down together. So if one parent is scolding, the other should be ready to, pacify the child after the scold has happened. And so that is very, very important. दोनों करेंगे तो मुश्किल है, because as it is joint family नहीं है, 50 लोग नहीं है, 2 हैं, दोनों एक ही मोड में आ गए तो थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो जाएगा. So that is one. And the last point is, as ladies and gentlemen, the presentation that Saurabh has given you is very, very good, but no presentation can actually, justify. There's a certain vibration which you will feel when you revisit the Rishod that probably cannot come down in a presentation. So I request, whenever if you can have an opportunity, please visit the university. There's a vibration that you will feel, which can only be felt, which cannot be, brought through any digital or print medium. So, and probably will give you a, understanding, and maybe will make you help decide as to what is right and wrong. Whether you ultimately decide to put the child here or not is a different issue. But the vibration is worth experiencing once. If you can make it, please, that would be very great. I would, that's about all I want to say, and I wish you all a very, very happy parenting and a successful life and a happy life. Success card definition is not thoda sa aajkal se paisa ho gaya, and a happy life for all our kids. Thank you very much, Saurabh. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Kalyan Sinha sir, for joining in, and also for the insightful session. And thank you, all of you, all the parents who have joined this session. We have your mail IDs, we have your names and contact number. We'll be sharing it on. We'll sharing any upcoming session if it's coming on this Saturday. We'll share it on your mail ID. Please join in, and thank you so much, everyone who has joined this session. Thank you, sir.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.